Let me just artistically place the bodies of the dead Schlachta as they were crawling in over the bodies of their comrades at your, you know, awesome servants. Who managed to keep you from being overwhelmed by another 6 Schlachta. They were 8 in total, incidentally. Of course, the amount of... right?
Yay, 1 damage.
Well, in theory, I would be rolling 1d10 to see if he manages to soak. He does. Malik, just blast at them. I'm actually curious to see if they survive long enough to launch another attack. And instantly, you can just spend some time healing up if you don't want to shoot Raffaello. And just dominate the fucker again if he manages to shake it off. Apparently, Zactor and Screaming Bacon have both gone offline. I assume you can still hear me.
I'm still online.
Okay.
I can still hear you. I think what I would do, I think I'll just go ahead and finish him off. I don't want to dominate him or drag this out any longer than it needs to be.
Yeah, well, he's dominated for, well, this turn and 2 others at least, since Raffaello managed to tie his brain in a knot with a freeze command. Oh yeah, he got 5 successes on a on the dominate roll, so this ghoul is boned, and hard at that.
I can heal up. Well, I'm not that bad. No, I'm actually not that bad off. I only have like 2 damage, so I think I would, what do you guys think?
Well, I can tell you that apparently the Sabbat have run out of troops because it looks like they tried to overwhelm you with sheer offensive capability and numbers, and they appear to have run out of that. As for, well, you know, if you try to stab someone with like a knife one more time, I'll let you take either... well, actually, here's the thing, you don't have anything in melee, but I would let you certainly upgrade your strength, I guess. I mean, you can always ask Bronson to show you how to fight with a weapon, right? I'm pretty sure he has basic skills. And since you've tried to actually stab someone, I'm actually okay with... if you spend a night or 2 getting instructed by the ghouls, you can take either that of melee or strength. But, you know, it wouldn't be bad if you try to stab people a bit more. Just for practice, of course. Well, you could ask him nicely. I mean, look at what Serath is doing here. You can always ask him to show you how to fight, right?
Doesn't matter what he wants or what he likes. I can actually tell him to do it.
Yeah, so, I mean, I assume that you have like a knife or a stake of your own other than the burning one, plus your firearm, you know, just as a backup weapon. So, you can certainly pull up a normal stake or normal knife and stab it at the Schlachta. Right. It was this turn that... well, actually, no. It was the previous turn that Raffaello froze them, so... well, just go ahead and stab them if that's what you're doing. And... did you already shoot at them? Or not? I mean, if you didn't roll for shooting, go ahead and roll that too. Dex and melee, yes. So just Dex for you. Since I don't think you have anything in melee. Which, considering that you're at -1, is essentially 2 dice. and you have to be right next to them. So you need to move up 1 square. Yeah, just go ahead and roll for it. Nope, you managed to miss, but that's alright, it's all good practice. And Malik, blow his brains out. Or just,
With pleasure.
You know,
Headshot.
I mean, you don't have to, but the blood might keep them alive if you headshot them, but uh, if you do enough damage, it may well kill them in 1 hit. Since they're mortal,
But a headshot would be cooler.
Yeah, if you do 3 damage, either to the neck with a sword or axe, or to the head, with a firearm, I am happy to say that the mortal would be instantly killed. Otherwise, it's just a grazing blow with chunks of skull flying everywhere. You don't necessarily critically damage the brain. You just, make them a whole lot stupider. But yeah, go ahead. Make them regret their life choices. And being caught by Zamitzi, of course. So that's one.
Those Nazi bastards.
Yeah, that's 1 success, since you are still functioning in essentially daytime. Luckily for you, you should have subtracted 1 blood point for waking up. I think I forgot about that, but it's not gonna matter since there are enough Shlakta bodies out there to refill you fully. Go figure. And none of you went below 1 in any case. So it all works out the same anyway. But go ahead and roll for the damage. See if you can... Yep! He can't soak more than 1, and that means he's instantly killed. You hear the cars taking off from the outside, and Chloe actually comes up. She looks at you with a very concerned look on her face. Where's Bronson?
He's in the next room, but I can't go get him.
Well, can you move away from the door? And drag these things away from it?
Sure.
Speaking
Yeah, we
of,
could do that.
I drag the corpses away by force strength.
Chloe has 5 conscience, since I decided to make her a very conscience-oriented person, so we're gonna make her roll her degeneration, and she manages to retain her decent nature. Okay, so the corpses are dragged off, and I assume you move back a bit.
Can they heal the rest of my wounds now?
Yes, you can drag one of the corpses with you and say to here, and they still have like most of their blood. So you can just say take a total of 9 points from them, from either of them, since they've bled a little bit from having their brains blown out or otherwise being sliced up. But other than that, yeah, each of those have 9 blood points in them, and you can use them to heal up. Meanwhile,
That'd be me taking 9 from this guy,
well,
and then 2 from the other guy to get full.
well, there are more corpses on the other side of the door, so there's enough for everyone to go back up to full. Chloe stumbles back into the room with a look of horror on her face. It's Bronson!
Yes?
I think he's dying. What do? Your ghoul claims that your bodyguard seems to be dying, Malik.
I look into the room.
I'm not sure.
You look into the room. Do you happen to have any fortitude?
No.
Please take 1 point of aggravated damage from indirect sunlight. And roll for Rotrek. Roll for Rotrek for me as well. I think something like difficulty 8 was
Just
it?
courage.
Yeah, I think it was difficulty 8 for sunlight. You know,
Can Chloe drag him into this room?
she can try, but Bronson's a big guy. You might
What?
have to give her a smidge of blood. Yeah, you can maintain control of yourself, so you don't panic, but I take it you move
I
back.
still run the fuck away.
I mean,
I say,
How many
too much
points of blood?
sunlight.
well, she can probably manage it if you give her a point of blood to, you know, buff her strength a little bit. She does have potence as all ghouls.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Okay, in which case she drags Bronson, who does in here, who does indeed appear to be on the edge of dying, and Romina, who appears to be a little better off, since she still had 1 extra point of blood left in her system from you blood bonding her, Serath, but she's in a very bad way as well. But she's conscious. You see a cold look in her eye for a second, and then there's like the sweetest, most adoring expression on it as she reaches out her hand towards you and says, "We tried to hold them off, Master."
You did just fine. Now drink some blood, goddammit.
So you're gonna heal her up to full?
Yes.
Okay.
How much blood do I need to give to Bronson?
7. He's on the edge of death and incapacitated. Those Schlachter just went right through them. They get overwhelmed by sheer numbers. Those revolvers apparently don't have clips that are that big, even when you can, even when the people can't really soak lethal. You know, the ones you're shooting at. So you are gonna be healing him up to full as well?
Yeah, and we have diseased blood bags, right?
Bronson actually tells you that, seeing the very hungry and unfortunate look in your eye, that there are more bodies in the next room and that there is no need to feed on him or Chloe. He really doesn't
Okay.
like the way you're looking at him. He really doesn't like that.
Oh yeah.
So you want them to drag
Am
some
I- you-
more Schlachter in here? I mean,
Yes, I do.
they're gonna happily pile up their kills high for you to
But how much blood did you take? Like 6 points?
Romina? Yes. She took as much as was necessary to heal her up, and she's keeping herself at 1 now. Apparently she has decided that showing too much greed with you might be a bad idea. But as far
I
as...
fill myself off on blood from the Schlachter, by the way.
Yes, you may all refill yourself fully, and I'm gonna incidentally set Karen to full blood as well, since you are, you know. Essentially, there were a lot of mortals involved in this. You are, incidentally, some of you, 2 steps bloodbound towards some of these vampires. Do you want to finish them off, or are you gonna make a gift of them to the prince? Or to some
I
other?
haven't. Wait, how could we choose the... Oh wait, yeah, with Tremere.
Yeah,
I think we should finish them off.
it's up to you. Though it would probably be a good idea to report this incident to the prince, since he likes to be kept in, you know, he likes to be appraised of events like this when members of his city are attacked by the sabbat, just so that he can keep track of their movements and try to predict their plans. And you will at some point need to get rid of the essentially bodies, of which there are 8 incidentally, of the war ghouls.
I move over here to kill this guy. Does
Okay.
anyone stop me?
I think you can just behead him unless Malik or Bacon object. The ghouls are certainly quite happy to see him dead.
I behead him.
Romina, meanwhile, picks up an axe and starts to chop away at the head of Thin Blood 3. She is displeased about nearly being killed. At Generation 10 you can have 13 blood max. And you can all happily get up to that. Unless, of course, the blood is like this night, or rather this next night, properly stored. You will not be able to save any of the blood from the Schlachta since it's swiftly gonna spoil due to their bodies starting to decay. But you can certainly fill yourselves up to full. Meanwhile, you might want to search the bodies. For one thing, there are 2 axes that you can get, 2 light revolvers, 1 heavy pistol, I believe, from one of the guys you killed, or it was Thin Blood 5 that you killed in the library, and a extra shotgun from Thin Blood 2, who used it to great effect against his teammate. So I would like for someone to go to group inventory and act as a secretary for the team and just record the loot as I, tell you what you have. Also, I want someone, if you decide to search the bodies this time, to you can have one of the axes. There are 2. Romina is currently holding the other one.
I have a sword, so I don't need an axe.
So sure, Bacon picks up the other axe and Romina just offers you the one she picked up, since it does more damage as a melee weapon. So, if you search the bodies, please make perception investigation rolls. They attacked in the early evening, just before this, like an hour before the sun went down. So by the time you search them, you can use your full dice pools. After you've piled the bodies and otherwise have done your things. So, Malik, Sarath, your investigation rolls. Sarath, perception and investigation, please.
Difficulty 6, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're just rifling through their pocket.
Hold on, I'm lagging really bad.
Well, okay. So
I don't know why.
is someone writing down the stuff you haven't... I mean, okay. Sarath, can you go into the group inventory? Just so that you can write down the stuff that hasn't been divided up. So, there is 1 shotgun from Thin Blood 2 that has... well, there's 1 shotgun and 10 shells. Some of the shells being in the shotgun. It having, much like Malik's, it uses the same kind of ammunition, and there's 5 extra shells for it on top of the load it has. There is a heavy pistol, which apparently was never used, I think, because the Thin Blood 5 was derping around and trying to lead Malik away from the group while the rest of you were busy dying.
A heavy pistol, not a revolver.
Yes, a heavy pistol, 13 out of 13 bullets, and an extra clip for that. There are also 2 light revolvers with no extra bullets or clips.
So it was 2 full clips?
Yes, for the heavy pistol. And 2 light revolvers, just with the basic load of stuff. There's a couple of extra knives, but you don't really need to keep count of those at this point, since you have so many. And 2 axes. one of which is with Romina currently, and one of which has already been claimed, so I suppose you don't need to write those down either. So, that's 1 shotgun, 1 heavy pistol, 2 light revolvers, as far as weaponry is concerned. Now, you did decent. So, Dracolor and Nietzsche, I want both of you to roll, say, 1d10. One of you is gonna find blood bags, one of you is gonna find some extra cash. Okay, that's 6 blood bags. You don't know if they're clean or not. Knowing Sabbath, there's a good chance they're not. And that's $300 extra as well in pocket change that they had on them in, you know, various notes. Plus, of course, clothing that is now ruined, and you know, I assume you're not gonna try and take their golden fillings and such, since that would be just a bit too much. And you're not that desperate for cash. So, that's more or less the epic daytime assault on your base of operations. So, did this feel a bit more like the Sabbat taking you seriously?
Yes. By the way.
You know, you need to transplant organs pretty quickly, and, you know, if Romina had another dot of medicine, I would let her roll for harvesting them. But she's...
But anyway, so we got a shotgun with 10 shells, a heavy pistol and 2 clips for it.
Yeah.
2 heavy revolvers and 4 extra heavy revolver clips.
No, it was light revolvers. That was just a backup weapon in case they run into, like, mortals for the people who had the axes. So it's light revolvers, like the shittiest gun you can get. But hey, once you have like 20 ghouls running around, you know, every gun may well count. There was another heavy...
Yeah, there was the heavy revolver used by La Sombra, but she ran away.
De La Sombra had another heavy pistol, I think.
Yeah, but she ran away, right?
Yeah. If you hadn't ordered her to leave, you would have 2 heavy pistols in your armory right now. So, yeah. That's a thing. I think, yeah, the extra heavy revolver that's in the group armory, that was something that Chloe was trying to use, so I'm gonna actually subtract a bullet from those, you know, rounds. But yeah, so essentially you have gained a couple of blood bags, a few extra $100, and you know.
Wait, so it's literally 50 silver heavy revolver bullets, not actual clips.
Yeah. It's essentially 1 box with 50 bullets in it. So you were actually interested in confronting Romina. Did she do well enough to take suspicion away from her for this attack?
Yes. She did.
I mean,
she did indeed.
She practically sacrificed her life to stop an attack on you, right?
Yes.
So, experience. I do believe we should assign experience before we wrap this up. And you can deal with aftermath, like trying to dump the bodies safely in the next session. So, please let me know what are the awesome things that your characters learned, or emotional reactions and such that they had.
Well, I kinda almost died there at one point.
And was that an important emotional moment for Sarath?
Yeah, it brought him being close to death. Kind of is important emotional moment, and so that's what made him spend willpower to not die there and actually kill some people.
Okay, so he learned an important lesson about fighting with everything he has when his back is to the wall. That's how
Yep.
you won. Okay. Uh, what about Raffaello and Malik? Malik, did you have a learning experience, or rather your character, that is?
I don't know. I think I got some pretty good at practice trying to smooth things over while confronting somebody.
Okay.
Like I could, I made my point and got it across to him without kind of causing any bad blood or a rift between us, which
Okay.
might have happened, but
Okay, so you feel like you've built some clan bonds there. And Raffaello has learned that combat is harder than it seems. Okay. And he was,
but
of
at least
course,
he got an axe.
yeah, and he was frustrated, like he says, about, it being as hard as it was, and getting damaged in the process. That's perfectly fine. So, this isn't really a landmark moment for the whole clan. At least I wouldn't think of it. Like, for example, getting a seat on the Primogen Council would be. So I don't think I'll be giving extra experience for that. But I think I can give an extra point of experience to Serath because he did do a good job of slicing people
Not
to
dying.
ribbons. If the if the others agree.
I'll agree.
Okay. What about you, Raffaello? Does that qualify him for the MVP? Okay. So,
For not dying.
yeah. Yeah, so, 3 experience points for Malik and Raffaello, and 1 for Serath. You did have a good long rest before this, and I think there will be a couple of sessions before you need to get into a serious fight again. So if you can make a good case that you should be allowed to spend experience to actually raise something, you may, well, proceed to make that case. So, are there any stats you want to raise with the experience you have built up?
Auspex 3. How much is that?
It's 10 points since it's in clan, and I'm fine with you taking it since you've been using it to see invisible things since the first fight. If you want to go up to Auspex 3, that's fine. You can have it. It's yours. And what about you, Jackalor? You interested in upping some stats?
Thinking about it.
Well, we can discuss this during the week, right? You don't have to decide right now. What about you, Raffaello? Are you interested in boosting your stats using your experience? And I am gonna let everyone recover a willpower point, in part because I feel a pity towards Serath because he's really screwed, and because you really did a good job of surviving a life-threatening situation, and this is a major victory, and you should be feeling certain amount of accomplishment, and that should feed into reinforcing your willpower. Yes, you can train with either Serath or Bronson if you wish. I'm gonna end the recording here, but just give me a few seconds and we'll make sure that everything's properly added up. Just so that, just make sure that you write down your experience properly and that you save it properly, as well as the stats you boosted.